Senator Collins.
But
Mr. Secretary, the vast majority of American troops perform their duties with compassion, fairness, and courage. This abuse makes the task which they've been assigned far more difficult and far more dangerous, and that troubles me greatly. Worst of all, our nation, a nation that to a degree unprecedented in human history, has sacrificed its blood and treasure to secure liberty and human rights around the world, now must try to convince the world that the horrific images on their TV screens and front pages are not the real America, that what they see is not who we are. That is why, Mr. Secretary, I'm so troubled by the Pentagon's failure to come forward to fully disclose this appalling abuse, to express outrage and concern, and to outline swift, tough corrective actions. I believe that had you done that, it would have mitigated somewhat how this abuse has been perceived around the world, particularly in the Muslim communities. I'm not talking about issuing a press release from Baghdad. I'm talking about you personally coming forward and telling the world what you knew about this abuse. In retrospect, do you believe that you erred in not coming forward, not just to the President and the Congress? You've made very clear today that you regret not doing that. But to the world community, would it have made a difference if it had been the Pentagon itself that had disclosed the full extent of this abuse, whatever you knew, and what actions you were going to take?
I think in my statement I responded in full to your question. I would characterize what was done in the Central Command by way of swift corrective action as being just that, swift corrective action. And second, I don't know quite how to respond to your question. The Department of Defense announced that their abuse was being charged. There were criminal investigations underway. No one had seen the photographs. They were part of a criminal investigation, and they were in that Central Command. I say no one in the Pentagon had seen them, and they were part of that investigative process. It is the photographs that gives one the vivid realization of what actually took place. Words don't do it. The words that there were abuses, that it was cruel, that it was inhumane, all of which is true, that it was blatant. You read that and it's one thing. You see the photographs and you get a sense of it, and you cannot help but be outraged. Now, there are, at any given time in the Department of Defense, as I said, there are these 3,000 court-martials underway, general court-martials, some 1,200, criminal investigations, 18,000 a year last year. And the importance of protecting the people charged, protecting their rights, and the importance of seeing that if in fact they're guilty, that they don't get off because of command influence. So there's a pattern of not reaching down into those things, bringing them up, and looking at all the evidence before it ever arrives. And in this case, it was released to the press. Now, we announced the problem to the press. We did not release the Taguba report to the press. That was done by someone to release, against the law, a secret document. That's how it surprised everyone. It shocked the Congress, it shocked me, it shocked the president, it shocked the country. But to suggest that they had not taken tough, swift, corrective actions in the Central Command, it seems to me, is inconsistent with what took place.
Well, Mr. Secretary, that's not what I said. What I said, and I have no doubt that the military is committed to swift corrective action, it's the disclosure of the abuse and the promise to take those actions. That's where I feel the Pentagon fell short. And I think that rather than calling CBS and asking for a delay in the airing of the pictures, it would have been far better if you, Mr. Secretary, with all respect, had come forward and told the world about these pictures and of your personal determination, a determination I know you have, to set matters right and to hold those responsible accountable.
Well, Senator Collins, I wish I had done that. I said that in my remarks. I wish I knew, and we've got to find a better way to do it, but I wish I knew how you reach down into a criminal investigation when it is not just a criminal investigation, but it turns out to be something that is radioactive, something that has strategic impact in the world. And we don't have those procedures. They've never been designed. We're functioning with peacetime constraints, with legal requirements, in a wartime situation, in the information age where people are running around with digital cameras and taking these unbelievable photographs and then passing them off against the law to the media, to our surprise, when they had not even arrived in the Pentagon.
We have to.
There wasn't a person at this table except General Smith who'd even seen them.
Senator, you're free to amplify that for the record if you wish, Mr. Secretary.